Today is an exciting day because Numskull sent this product in to review. And I must just be honest, I'm not getting really excited about these particular quarter scale collectible arcades anymore. But the Turtles in Time quad arcade, that was something I was really feeling intrigued by. With a simple reason, because the Turtles or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is absolutely a part of my childhood in combination with the arcade game. However, I never played the arcade game myself back in the day. For me, the Super Nintendo version was actually the one I've played a lot. Alright, so Numskull's creating all kinds of, let's say, quarter scales arcades. I've reviewed the Pac-Man versions in the past. Personally, I love the overall quality, but my connection with the Pac-Man was not the same like with the Turtles. So I'm very excited to check this one out. How is the overall quality? And yeah, that is one of the things I'm always curious about. We have two versions, the normal arcade game and the Turtles in Time. Unfortunately, you're getting an arcade cabinet. So far I understand you're getting one single game. So that's a little bit of a bummer. It would be cool to have like a cabinet you buy and you have like multiple games. Think about, let's say, Simpsons, Turtles in Time and all the other ones. So you have like that's more like a multicade. So you can play different kind of games. But of course the approach of, let's say, Numskull, it's more like you're getting something of an like collectible item statue / mini arcade. It comes with a cable, the Type-C cable in here, and everything that we're going to be needing for charging up, because the thing does come with a built-in battery. But let's do a quick overview and let's go with the show. But hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So the Turtles in Time is a really cool, exciting, let's say, device that you can pick up from the Numskull design with a quarter scale lineup. With a lot of different, let's say, cool features on the cabinet that makes this thing an outstanding, cool showcase piece in your collection. However, there were a couple of things I've noticed on this cabinet that I don't know what to think about. To begin with, when it comes to the overall general artwork. It looks kinda good, but still when you look close up, you can just see that when it comes to how bright it is, it's kinda dark, to be honest. And that is the thing. I don't know if this was with the original arcade cabinet, but it looks kinda weird, particularly when you're looking at, let's say, the control panel at front. So when you're looking at the art, particularly with the control panel, you can just see how dark the decals are and everything else. And that is something that's quite concerning. I don't know if this was with the original arcade cabinet, I cannot really recall to that. So let's remove the piece of plastic so you can actually see that nothing to do with that. So let's put this back just for anti-scratching, because I'm always like very careful with these things, and later on maybe I will remove it again. But so far when you're looking at it, it's kind of an, let's say, double feeling when it comes to this particular, like say, art. The same goes for the marquee. So let's turn the device on. You can just see when the marquee is lit up, you can just see how dark it over here is. I don't know if this is going to be normal, but this is the general standard when it comes to these arcades, or this particular arcade. But let's give you a quick look at the side of the cabinet, and you can just see that not everything looks kind of dark, especially when it comes over here to the character. So I cannot even make out what kind of, let's say, color this turtle needs to be, but all the other art seems to be looking good. Maybe this is the effect they want to implement it, like the original arcade cabinet. And over here we're having like the Turtles, like say, logo that seems to be looking kind of nice. But the overall quality of the cabinet, it's trying to be so authentic, original to the original cabinet, and this is the same material they've been using with the other ones I've reviewed, the Pac-Man ones, and I can tell you the overall design is absolutely beautiful, having the special nice decal over here that I glued on there. You cannot peel it off that easily. So with a normal charger you can actually charge this thing, a 5 volt, you can just plug it in, and here you can just see that it turns to a certain color. If it's green, what I understand of, it's completely charged. But yep, let's turn it on and let's give you an overview of the light up feature. Then of course the light up features is one of those cool, let's say, extra things you're getting with this. The powering on, you can just see that the overall, let's say, look of the light up feature is very nicely done. So where we do have a dark spot over here, I'm guessing that the LEDs are around this part of the marquee. And of course the best thing to do is turning off all of the lights in the studio. And here you can just actually see that it works like a charm. The dark spot has to do with the like sticker, or the marquee is actually completely black, so it doesn't have like the same, let's say, light going through. So that makes a thing looking like a weird like dark spot. But beside that, it's not looking that bad. And when I'm going to be zooming in, you can just see how the quality is of the marquee. I don't know what you think of it, but I think this can be so much better in the end. Okay, so at the front we're having the 4 coin, let's say, mechanisms, where we can just actually press and giving credit to each player. I think it's absolutely a very cool idea to give it like the authentic feel. So like in the real arcade, you need to press or put a coin in a certain coin mechanism to activate the character that you want to play with. But playing with 4 players think that makes no sense, and they made an absolutely great decision to putting some extra USBs in here. And yep, you can open them all up and implement controllers, so you can actually use this thing like a game console. That brings us to the extra controller that I can actually purchase for this. So they are selling them separately, so you have like the option to buy one or a couple of them if you want to. So this is the USB controller. It looks kinda cool, but also like an NES gamepad. Okay, so let's chit chat about the overall quality of the controller. Why this thing looks like an NES gamepad, it's absolutely not an NES gamepad. Yeah, it comes with a very long USB cable and it comes with a tiny joystick. I think that's absolutely a very cool thing what they did over there. The quality itself, it's like kind of nice, but the weird thing is you cannot remove, or you can remove, I was like tighten up that much, but you can remove the tiny joystick over here and you can just play it as a normal controller. And overall quality is absolutely nice. They made the decision for like normal buttons that has a very long travel, but the overall quality is absolutely great. Let's smell it. Oh, it smells nice. But let's talk about the control panel. 4 players like the authentic arcade machine, and I think that's absolutely awesome. But there did some small changes when it comes to the Pac-Man ones I've reviewed. So first of all, and not in a bad way, they didn't have like the clickies, let's say joysticks. You can just feel that it has a very short travel. And the joystick play very nicely, and also when it comes to the buttons itself, they have a very long travel. So over here I just want to give you a quick look on the travel of the buttons, and they play very comfortable, and also when it comes to the joystick itself, it's absolutely great, and I must say that I really enjoyed playing this thing. So what I think when it comes to the overall like artwork, it's the same that darkish artwork that we've seen of over the old cabinet itself. But besides that, what I think is pretty cool that they implemented how to play. It's almost unreadable, so small it is, but I love the small details they implemented on this cabinet. But how about the audio? Because this is one of the very interesting and important features. On the here we're finding like the original arcade and like tiny speaker, and this thing goes really loud. So the display they're using is absolutely a beautiful IPS panel that had the perfect viewing angle. So they didn't like cut down on that. So when it comes to the displays, they are using high quality panels for this. So I actually wanted to have the Turtles in Time because this is one of my favorite Turtles games of the arcades. Also for the Super NES version. Man, this game is so chaotic. It's crazy if you think about it. I can just really enjoy this game, but actually just playing together with a friend, but take consideration that playing with 4 players, in my opinion, is completely impossible. So another thing we can also do is like implement the controller. So let's see what happens if you're going to be doing this. So can we just do this or actually be playing the game? So let's plug it in random in the first port, and this automatically activates. So we can just use the controller over here, but also use the control port. I'm guessing plugging it into the second port will activate the second player. There we go. Oh, no, it doesn't activate anything else. So that's a kind of interesting thing. So it doesn't matter which port I'm going to be plugging it in. When it's activated to a certain character, it's going to be activated to that particular character. It's kind of interesting. So let's say I'm going to be activating the second player. I'm guessing even I'm going to be plugging this in a different port. Let's see if I'm going to be navigating. Nope, it's automatically like configured to it. So it's quite an interesting way how they, like say, develop this software. So if you're going to be using a second controller now, automatically we configure to the second player on, let's say, the playing fields. So it's quite genius, to be honest. But you can even get it to the dip switches of the game itself, and that is kind of cool. So what we needed to do is powering on the machine, holding on play 1 and play 2 the attack buttons, and we need to be holding this for quite a long time. Actually, when I'm going to be into the Nickelodeon, I need to hold it for a long time. I've noticed before, I don't know if it with other people, if you're going to be holding it, it will get stuck on the Nickelodeon screen until the point you're going to be leaving the two buttons alone. So see, it's going to be stuck in Nickelodeon. Now I know for sure it's going to be activating the dip switches, and there we go. So when it comes to, let's say, the options over here, I don't know if this is one-on-one the same like the original, but it is kind of cool. Just see you can implement cheats like infinite energy and lives. So we can even, and it's kind of cool, they can select the start level to a certain stage. So that is absolutely awesome. Turn it on and off and select the stage over here and enable and disable the CR2 function. Where the CRT function, I'm not really convinced by it, because the lines in the display looks more like a defect than actually a CRT look. But it'll give you an idea what I mean, and let's boot it up into the CRT mode. And let's start up the game. The CRT filter, I have some double feeling about it too. Like you can just see over there the lining that needs to be like becoming the CRT filter. But you can just see that the lines look kind of weird, and that looks more like a general defect than actually a CRT look. We're giving you an up close of the monitor itself and just show you how it actually will look. So this is the CRT filter enabled, and without the CRT filter it looks so much better. Also, another weird thing is that I cannot use my level select. I've been enabled it and saying that it goes to the second stage, but that feature seems not to be working with mine. Alright, so let's do a quick gameplay. The overall experience is absolutely positive. I love this game. It's so much fun to revisit the real arcade one, and the buttons are really cool to play with. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping this up for an hour or so to actually completing the game, but man, this is absolutely cool. They're responsive, the joystick is responsive. And the overall emulation on this thing is just great. And I'm going to be getting squashed. Oh yeah. Let's open it up, because I'm really curious how this thing will look in the inside. And yeah, they're like very easy to open up. The only thing that we need to do is remove 4 screws. Come on. Yeah, I can reach in. I can reach in. Yes. Alright, so there's a lot of parts going on in this machine, particularly when you're looking at, let's say, the Pac-Man ones. There was almost nothing in the inside. So over here they're running the 2200 milliamp battery, so they can be replaced. Those things are just normal, so if this gets broken you can just replace them. You should do some soldering, I'm guessing, because of the cable, but maybe you can find replacements in the future. Over there we're having the front part, 2 PCBs. Let's see if it's going to be focusing. And this goes all the way up over here for entering credit. So this is actually the encoder or the control panel encoder board that you can see with all of the inputs, and the ribbon cable goes to the display, and this is actually where it's all being happening, the magic itself. So there's a metal plate on here, but it seems not feeling really hot at this point. So we're looking at, let's say, the overall input of this thing, what it's all about and how does it actually look. Yeah, it would be cool. You can just do some crazy modding with this thing. But yeah, there's a lot of room for modification, that's one thing for sure. So when it comes to, let's say, the input for the display, of course, not like with Arcade 1-Up, we should like get a replacement board and etc. Not going to be bothering, of course, doing this, but this is actually what you're going to be finding in the inside. So it's absolutely a blast to the past with this particular machine. So there comes only one single game on this, and yeah, that's a little bit of a downside to this. It would be cool to have like multi-arcade, where you can play all kinds of games that are 4-player related. But on the other hand, it's actually just like a model. Think about a statue that you can just put in your collection to display. It's absolutely a very fun product to buy, but it also comes with a hefty price tag. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of a product like this? Would you pick it up? I want to thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing, hit the little bell, and it would be great to see you in the next video.